completely done, you just want to make sure your patient doesn't have a fever, the machine's not doing anything but it's still hooked up. If you wanted to set your high alarm to like 38 or 39, you could do that. It may vary kind of what you wanted on each case. So we can see it is on standby. You can see our target temp is set to 33. We're set to max mode. So we are kind of ready to hook our patient up. So let's talk about the catheter for a minute. So these are heat exchange catheters. This one specifically is called the Quattro. It's got 4 balloons. This is a femoral catheter. It is 45 centimeters long. The orange lures literally go to the orange lures on the startup kit only. No medications, no saline, nothing ever goes through these. And when the provider is actually putting these in, just kind of remind them to forget about these lures. You do not want to flush the lures or check to make sure that the balloons are patent or anything like that before insertion, because it will be very hard to insert them. Because they're pretty close to the actual catheter when they're going in. And if you stick saline in it, it's really hard to get in when it kind of looks like this. So when we are ready to go, we'll unhook these and hook these lures into the startup kit. They're in and out lures and male and female lures, so they can only really go in one way. Alright, and then you can see here we still have our 3 triple lumens on here. So we've got proximal, medial, distal. Let's see where our ports are. We've got one here, and then the tip at the end. So you can use this just like you would use a central line. You can run medication, sedation, pressors, you can get a CVP, you can draw blood, whatever you want to do, you can use it exactly the same. And when we are good to go ahead and press run. And we've got a warning coming up just saying secondary temp probe not connected, and that's fine. You can run this machine with 1 probe if you want to. You don't need 2, so we'll press yes that we wish to proceed. And if you want to hold on to that and take a look at the catheter. Okay. You can see the catheter filling up with the saline.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
How's it feel?
It's cold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You guys want to feel it?
So would the providers be aware of not to flush the other accidents?
Yeah, I can absolutely do some training with them, for sure. So this Quattro has 4 balloons, whereas the IC that you guys use only has 3. This will cool your patient to about 3 to 4 degrees an hour. So we're talking about getting to target temps in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it is very, very fast. So if we needed to pause this and take our patient to CT, I'll show you how to do that. So these are CT and MRI compatible. However, the lumens are not pressure injectable. So if they're actually using the pressure injectable machine to inject the contrast, they'll have to use another IV site or just manually inject it. But it's compatible to go in the machine. So how we would do that is literally put our machine on standby. And then I also like to make sure that the standby alarm is on. So that, say, when your patient comes back up from CT, their bed is a hot mess, you've got your alarm pumps beeping, you've got to make sure you get all of that plugged in. And you may hook them back up to the catheter, but forget to literally press 1 button, take it off standby, and then it's 4 hours later, and you're going to give a report, and you're like, oh crap, like I totally forgot about that. So you'll press this button to get to the menu setting, you'll go down to settings, just like we did with the other alarms, and down to standby timer, and you can set the alarm for 15 or 60 minutes, so we'll put it on 15. If you're not back by then and somebody is really tired of this machine beeping, they can just walk in the room and press that little silence button there, it'll silence it for 15 minutes. So just to remind you to make sure that this is going when you get back up from CT. So we've got it on standby. What we'll do is literally unhook these lures. You can hook the patients back into each other's, and then same with the startup kit. When your patient goes down to CT, comes back up, and we can hook this back up. Just as we did before. and run it.
Now, do you guys suggest we clean it with alcohol or chlorhexidine before we?
So I would say treat it as
Reclamp.
you do any time with your central lines. However
Okay.
you clean those, these can be cleaned exactly the same.
All right.
Yep. The one medication that you do need to be wary about infusing through this is going to be mannitol. So mannitol will actually crystallize at low temperatures. So if you're giving a just like a push of mannitol, what you can do is pause it, give it about a minute or two, flush the lumens really good, push your mannitol, flush it again with several flushes just to be safe that it's out of the line, and then restart the machine. But if you are giving a mannitol infusion, something that's continuous, you'll need to find another IV site for that. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Do you guys have any questions so far? Nothing?
No, not now.
I'm going to show you guys the Zoll catheter. So this was the upper body catheter that we were talking about last week. And I actually want to show you, so this looks kind of crazy.